Live, going live. You're live. What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here, Cheesehead TV, coming to you live late on Monday, early evening, I want to say, a little after 7 p.m. Eastern, talking to you live here on the YouTube channel. Thanks to everyone who showed up for the Star Wars podcast live on Instagram with myself and my daughters. That was a lot of fun. Hello to everybody here, talking Packers, talking green and gold, the unknown when it comes to the NFL and their schedule set to be released later this week. The NFL announcing earlier today that all of the international games have been canceled. All of those teams that had been slated to play overseas in 2020 will now be playing at home, provided, of course, that there is a season. But that is right now the word from the NFL. Hello to everybody in the chat. Good to see you all. Nice title. Thanks. I find some Packers fans' lack of faith disturbing. Obviously, a play on a line from the original Star Wars, seeing as it is May the 4th. It is Star Wars Day. Happy May the 4th to you all. I'm wearing my Star Wars hat, drinking from my Darth Vader glass. Got to keep it real. Zachary with the hot rumor. Thank you for the super chat. Heard we were trying to trade a first for Juju. I haven't heard that. That'd be interesting. I would be absolutely shocked. It would be very un-Brian Gutekunst-like, but he's surprised me before. I would be absolutely floored if they did that, though. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Ann. How are you? Hashtag strong together. I hear you, man. I feel you. I agree. Your lack of vision is disturbing to some of us, only because you can't see the entirety of the Force. You know, I am a Jedi. I get it, man. You have, limited scope and limited ability when it comes to tapping into the great mystery. Whereas I, myself, am a Jedi. So it's okay. I understand that you look with your limited vision and think, what a fool I am. But as is always going to be the case, my great Jedi powers will always keep me one step ahead. This bit has gone on way too long already. Oh, God, so many alerts. What's the biggest surprise you've had from Gutekunst? His attempt to swing for the fences on Khalil Mack, like legitimately tried to make that happen. Never in a million years would I have expected it. But he did. That was, to me, something that probably wouldn't have seen from Ted Thompson. And obviously he's been true to his word in the sense that he said he was going to be in every conversation. I didn't think he'd be that far in on Khalil Mack, but yeah, that was a surprise. Jake, thanks for the super chat. Nags, I consider EQ returning to be the same as drafting a wide receiver. You? Kind of, because you didn't have him last year. You're going to have him the first year for him in this new system. He is coming off an injury, though, so you don't really know what kind of version of EQ you're going to get. And, he was originally a day 3 pick. So I think when most Packer fans were expecting a draft pick at a position that was thought to be such a big need, I think most people, rightfully so, were expecting a significant investment, say a day 1 or 2 pick. Now, that's not to say that he couldn't possibly be getting, coming up and giving them that kind of production and surprising some people. I don't think there's any doubt. He has that ability. He has that upside. But, he, I don't think he's set to be a star, but I think he can contribute and really help the offense. There's no doubt there. I think I missed some super chats here. Sorry, guys. Bryson. That is probably the greatest super chat I've ever received. Thank you very much. I hate the Minnesota Vikings. Clear, concise, I applaud your brevity. For as you know, Shakespeare once wrote, brevity is the soul of wit. John, thank you for the super chat. Will Jackson make a leap in year 3? Will he see the field? Well, that second part has to happen for the first part to come to fruition. I got to be honest. I am dubious at best. I think he's got skills. I think he would be much better suited to a predominantly zone scheme, whereas the Packers do like to play a lot of man. I certainly don't see him kicking inside and being the guy in the slot. So then you've got to say, all right, well, we have to play him outside. But then, so who do you put them there in place of? Do you kick Jair inside? I don't hate that idea. And then you have King on the number 1 on the perimeter. And then it gets kind of scary because then you've got Jackson on the number 2, and things could devolve real quickly. I think he'll possibly see the field a little bit more in sub packages, but it's obviously put up or shut up time, and there's no doubt that Brian is going to give him every opportunity to show that he belongs. But like you indicate in your super chat, guy couldn't see the field last year, and that does not bode well. Bryson, thanks so much for the super chat. And that scene where all the Jedi take through Rey is awesome, and lightsaber fighting Yoda, take my money. It would have been so great if they had actually had the Jedi on screen. If they had gone and gotten Samuel L. Jackson and Hayden Christensen and all these folks and Liam Neeson and, had them actually appear. It would have been so cool. There had been so many rumors about Hayden Christensen being in the film. And then it was just one line, throwaway line. I hated that. Wish they had actually done it. Javier, thank you so much for the super chat. May the 4th be with you, Master, carrying the G in a galaxy far, far away. And also with you. Tim, thanks for the super chat. What's your favorite story from the press box? Well, that's a good one. That's a good question. I haven't really thought of that much or talked about much. I mean, I don't know. It's, I said in an interview with on Milwaukee, was it last year or 2 years ago, one of the things I miss the most about the press box, especially on the road, is I always used to sit the Packers PR assigned seating, and my seat was always between Ryan Wood was always on my left, almost always on my left, and Tom Oates was almost always on my right. And Tom has seen it all, has covered the Packers since Holmgren was in town, so he's got so many stories. And just sitting next to him and getting there pregame and just talking about whatever. And Tom was famous for, if there's a Badgers game in Illinois or Indiana or Iowa, and on Saturday, and then there's a game in Green Bay Sunday at noon, he would be, filing copy late at night in Iowa and then making the drive and making sure he's there early for the game in Lambeau. He's just, the guy's a legend, and he's seen it all, and he has a million stories. And that's the one, people ask, well, what do you miss about the Beavers? I really miss that. I miss talking to Tom about all things Wisconsin, because that guy is a treasure when it comes to the state and the sports in the state. Oh, Kyle, thanks for the super chat. Thanks, Nags, for all you and Banky do for Packers fans. Thank you. Thanks very much. That's very generous of you. I want to make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Sorry, guys. Bud, thank you for the super chat. And such a softball, too. Do the Bears still suck? Yes, of course they do. Come now. Just because it's Star Wars Day doesn't mean we stop recognizing how much the Bears still suck. I mean, that's the way of things, the way of the Force. How much does losing James Campen hurt our O-line development? I think he was severely underrated as our O-line coach. John, I mean, I think he was underrated in the sense that I think most casual fans don't give a crap who not only the offensive line coach is, but who position coaches are in general. They just know they're the guys who stand on the sideline. For people like us, yourself and myself, who eat, sleep, and breathe the team and are online devouring every piece of information about it, yeah, we recognized how valuable he is. So it's hard to say, all position coaches are underrated by the general public. I think most fans, knowledgeable fans, they recognize how important he was and how much of a great coach he was for the Packers. But that said, I think Stenavich shows, his line showed promise after his first year in charge of the group. Certainly brought a rookie and Elton Jenkins along pretty damn well. Made things work with a shaky right guard there and Billy Turner. So, I mean, yes, Campen definitely missed. And Campen is the first Packers coach to ever, talk to me / bring up Cheesehead TV without me prompting it. to him when it was late at night at the combine. This is years ago. And Corey and I had really kind of just started. We were a few years in, and I was there. I think it was the first or second year I'd ever gone to the combine. And Campen stopped me outside Steak and Shake in Indianapolis at like 12:30, 1 o'clock something. And he said, Cheesehead TV. I was like, and I knew who he was, obviously. I had no clue he had any idea who I was. And, Cheesehead TV, you guys do really good stuff. I was like, thanks. So, yeah, from that moment on, obviously, James Campen was all right in my book. But Campy was a really, really integral part in a lot of the success that McCarthy's teams had. There's zero question there. Super Edge 99. That is a great question. Thanks for the super chat. Does Dylan see the field in a rotation or by injury? I think it begins with A, and there's a good chance he sees more if B happens. I do think they want to get him on the field regardless. I don't think there's any question that you are going to see him involved from week 1. Now, is he going to take, a bunch of Aaron Jones's snaps? I doubt it. I think he will eat heavily into Jamal Williams' time, but I don't think there's any question you will see him playing sooner rather than later. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats because I hate when I do that. Frank, thank you for the super chat. I heard a reason Oakland went with Chicago over Green Bay with Mac was because Gruden assumed the Bears would have a worse year and get a higher pick. Is that true, Frank? Yes, that is 100% true. That is not just reported. That is something that has been widely confirmed. In fact, I've talked to a couple guys in personnel for both the Packers and a couple other teams who swear blind that's true. So, yes, the thinking was Gruden liked both offers, was tempted to go with the Green Bay offer, but he assumed, I think like a lot of people did, that the Bears would have a worse year than the Packers. Obviously, that did not turn out to be the case. But, yeah, that is true. 100%. Let's see what else we got. Christian, thanks for the super chat. Can Jones, Dillon, and Josiah DeGuara projection be compared to Green, Davenport, and Henderson? Woo, baby. No, not really. I think DeGuara is going to be a much more versatile player than William Henderson was. And I love William Henderson. Like, the guy is all-time great in Packers lore. Zero question about it. Especially since he was a lot more versatile. I think most people remember, although I suspect that you remember it very well. But I think he is going to be all over the formation in a way Henderson wasn't. He'll be lined up in the backfield sometimes as an H-back / fullback, but he'll be in line playing traditional tight end. He'll be split out. He'll be in the slot. He's going to be all over the place. So I don't think that projection compares it's not too strict there. Let's see what else we got. Tim, thanks for the super chat. Why do fans complain about weapons when we've got the top 5 quarterback, left tackle, running back, and wide receiver, and with improving players like Jace, Jenkins, and Lazard? Because fans like the bitch, Tim. I mean, look, I understand when people look at the Packers wide receiver core and say, oh, this is the quote-unquote worst core in the league, or whatever that means. I mean, I don't know how you quantify that, but, it's not guys who put up huge fantasy numbers. They're not highly rated on Madden. All these things, the auxiliary stuff that surrounds NFL fandom informs people's opinions. And because of that, I think people get a warped sense of what the Packers actually have. And this is why I kept saying last year, and I'll keep saying it this year, they have all the talent they need to win a bunch of games, a whole bunch of games. When Devontae Adams went down, they won 4 games in a row in the NFL. And you can say what you want about who they faced, when they faced them, whether injuries or where they were ranked defense-wise, blah, blah, blah. Those are still NFL teams, NFL defenses with NFL defensive coordinators who they made look silly for the most part a lot of the time. This idea that the Packers have no talent is just so ridiculous. This is not even close to the truth. And thank you again for the super chat. Jake, thank you for the super chat. Think Jones splits out more this year? Yeah, I think we'll see hopefully a bit of an evolution where I love the idea of putting him and Dillon in the backfield together and then like starting them in split backs and then running Jones out into the slot. motioning him out to either the slot or the perimeter. But yeah, you can get really super creative with Jones this year in a way that we kind of saw when Adams went out. I think they just need to do more of that when Adams is in there. Because look, you're going to have defenses keying on Devontae. You know that's going to happen. So utilize that and get Jones in space and design plays and a game plan around getting Jones involved in more ways than just running the football. I think it makes a world of sense. Do you see Zadarius Smith doing even better than he did last year? Oof. Man, it's going to be a tough act to follow. There's zero question about it. I do wonder how much he'll be taken off the field for Rashawn Gary this season, because they are similar players. Brian and Matt have both spoken about how, they envision Gary being another version of Zadarius. I do think they'll mix and match them a little bit. I think they'll be on the field at the same time on occasion, of course. But I do wonder if he sees a little bit less playing time. I mean, last year he played like 90+% of the snaps. Like, he was on the field all the time. The only time he came off was when he had those nagging injuries. But then he would always pop right back in, and he barely missed any time. That's going to be, in the NFL, that is awfully hard to replicate year after year. So I think he's going to be as effective, but man, it's a lot to ask to think he's going to be even better than what we saw last year, given the fact that I can't imagine they ride him that much as far as his snap count. I just don't think it's smart. But we'll see. He's still a young guy. Maybe he's, some guys are just built that way. They play a ton of snaps and they're fine. So, Big Daddy Cool Breeze. What is up, Big Daddy Cool Breeze? A regular from trivia? What is going on? Big Daddy Cool Breeze is one of my favorites, because how can you not love saying the name Big Daddy Cool Breeze? Big Daddy Cool Breeze. What is up? Over under on Clay Matthews III taking a veterans minimum contract to be an inside linebacker for the Packers. I don't see it happening. I think there's little doubt that I think most Packers fans' minds and or memories are clouded by the fact that, yes, when he made the move to inside linebacker, he was incredibly effective. It changed their entire defense. You want to have that kind of jolt again, and I get it. But man, that was 5 years ago. He hasn't gotten younger and less injury prone in that time. And I understand he was productive last year out in LA, even though he's owed $2 million apparently because he's suing that team. But man, time marches on, and they got to get younger inside, not older. Now, could there be a point, maybe injuries happen in camp, and if Clay is still unsigned, do they make a call? That's a possibility. But you're asking me over under, I'm thinking way under. I just don't see it, especially after the way that Clay talked about his departure from Green Bay and kind of putting that dirty laundry out there. I just don't see it. Although they brought Mercedes Lewis back after he did kind of the same thing, so who knows? Oh, I love these. Tim, Devontae isn't top 5. Crying emoji. Get out of here. Tim, stop smoking crack when you come on the chat. Devontae Adams is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. If you don't know that, if you don't understand that, again, I urge you to put the pipe down. Crack is whack, man. Don't do it. Oh, where we got? I got super chats. Frank, thank you for the super chat. EQ sleeper pick for number 2 wide receiver. Carry that G. Wow. Number 2, no. I think that's Allen Lazard. Now, can they get to camp and have EQ explode and have a fantastic showing and kind of get inserted into that second spot? Sure, that could happen. I'd be very surprised. I think people are really sleeping on Allen Lazard. I don't know if it's the Ben Fennell breakdowns throughout the season last year where he kept talking about how he'd be a fine number 4 or number 5, but they needed a true number 2. I'm here to tell Mr. Fennell and all of you that Allen Lazard is an absolute legit number 2 wide receiver. Ready for it. Ready to produce. Good to go. Insert Lazard here. And I can't wait for it. Nags, Kyle, what's up? 3 and 15, Wishbone, Dylan Jones, DeGuara, and with Adams and Lazard out wide. Hey, man, I am all in. I love it. Wishbone, are you kidding me? Come on now. All in. Thanks for the super chat. Sean, thank you for the super chat. God, family, and the Green Bay Packers. Stay safe. Sean, you as well. And with that, I'm going to jump. Can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much for all the super chats, for the engagement. Please hit like, hit subscribe. 280 lovely souls here on a Monday afternoon in May, talking football, talking Packers. I love it. That's why we're here. It's why you do what we do here at Cheesehead TV. We're devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night.